There are a range of issues on the front page this week that take place at the state level. Accountability nowhere to be found. And so we're joined by two former governors, Bob McDonnell of Virginia and Eric Greitens of Missouri, to help us break down what's gone wrong in the states across America. Governor McDonnell, I'll start with you. What in the world is happening in Texas? I know people will talk about all manner of foolishness, but at the end of the day, people stood up, raised their hand, and said, we will take care of the things you don't want to think about. And then the unthinkable happened on their watch.
Well, for most governors, and I know Eric would agree, is public safety is the first priority and all manner of protection of the public. And you have to be prepared, like in Virginia, for the hurricane that might happen every 10 years, or in Texas for the incredible cold snap. And I will say Governor Abbott stood up and took full responsibility for this, especially the ERCOT group, who's responsible for all of the power distribution networks. They assured the governor things were taken care of 5 days out, and obviously none of them were properly taken care of. And I will say for Governor Abbott, unlike in New York and California, he has owned it, said it was his responsibility, and promised reforms, asked for federal help. But obviously the systems did not work and failed the people of Texas, and a number of people have died. But this issue of public safety falls squarely in the lap of a governor and a mayor, and it's their responsibility.
Now, Governor Greitens, I'll come to you because I'll ask you the same question. There's plenty of blame to go around. But for me, at some point, how do we get to robust accountability where they're not making excuses, we're not making excuses for the people that we like, and we just get to the business of fixing the problem so it never happens again?
Yeah, Joe, you put your finger on it exactly. It's about accountability. Look, Bob and I both served as governors. We also both happened to serve as officers in the United States military. When you do that, you take an oath. And you take a sacred oath to protect the Constitution, to protect people's lives and liberties. As a governor, you're supposed to be doing the same thing. You got to get out there. You got to protect people's lives and liberties. And where the country's focused right now, this big question of accountability is in New York on Governor Cuomo. Because what you're seeing there, Joe, is you're seeing that Governor Cuomo made bad decisions. People died as a result of them. His administration lied about it, and then the cultural elite and the mainstream media came in and gave him an Emmy. If we're going to really help people, we have to focus on the facts. We got to focus on accountability, and it's why people are coming to places like Newsmax, and they're coming to your show, because you're giving them the straight news with clear opinion that's rooted in the facts.
All right, absolutely. And Governor McDonnell, same question to you, because Governor Cuomo refuses to take accountability to the point where even AOC has left him on the beach to fend for himself. You know you're in bad shape when even the most extreme elements in your ranks want nothing to do with you.
Yeah, I think it's the first thing AOC and conservatives have agreed on, and that is that there needs to be a full investigation of what happened in New York. I thought Governor Cuomo started well with the pandemic. There was daily briefings and looked like transparency, but now we found out that really 15,000 plus people died by the flawed nursing home policy back in March, April, and May. He did reverse it, but then they grossly underreported the numbers of the fatalities, seems like for political reasons. And then he wrote a book, and then he accepted an Emmy, and then he said he was, a model of leadership during the pandemic. And until last night, when he finally said, yeah, it's on my watch and I accept responsibility, it was constant blame of others in the Bush and the Trump administration. So that's not the kind of leadership. People are willing to give you a pass in an unprecedented pandemic that we haven't had in 100 years if you just tell them the truth. But I think Governor Cuomo dropped the ball, and that's why you have bipartisan calls for broad investigations. The FBI is now looking at it as well.
Now, Governor Greitens got about 20 seconds here for your answer, but election integrity, it's on the ballot across this country. We want to make sure that we have secure elections heading into this midterm and then gearing up to take back the White House in 2024. What needs to happen at the state level to ensure that?
Joe, so important you're touching on this. Number one issue for Republicans across the state, they need to stand up, they need to fight and preserve their constitutional responsibility to make sure that we have free and fair elections. And we need to have people who are going to put America first.
Gonna have to leave it there, Governor. Thank you so much for joining us. Bob McDonnell, Eric Greitens.